Hi, I'm Waka, and welcome back to Detective Pikachu Returns. In this episode, we continue to collect testimonies and evidence, and we also make some deductions. What is it, Pikachu? I checked out the door, but there are no signs of forced entry. Then we can be fairly certain that the thief used the key to get in. Or pick the lock. According to Dennis, this room's where the Aurora Drop used to be. Let's take a closer look. Sure. What a beautiful jewel. It's so clear and sparkly, absolutely brilliant. I mean, if you wanted to steal, why didn't you just steal all of it? A green jewel. That fresh green color reminds me of the forest. Just looking at it is calming. Nothing here. I'm gonna look at everything else before looking at that. This one's a blue jewel. The deep blue, like the ocean. It has a kind of magical feeling to it. Lapis lazuli? It's a red jewel. What a vibrant red, like boiling hot lava. It's almost too bright to look at. Okay. I guess I have to go around to look at it. This area looks more disturbed than the rest. Let's start investigating. We might find a clue. Alright, don't let any details slip past you, Tim.
Let me see.
Let's see, where should we look first? Well, I see a feather popping out of there. Sure. Here's a blue feather. Do you think the Pokemon it belonged to was in this room? Maybe it's from a Pokemon that lives in the mansion. Let's look at it later. Blue feathers always remind me of getting married in Harvest Moon, or Story of Seasons, as it's called now. The jewel case is still locked. Like Dennis said, the jewel in this case is stored under lock and key. And the key to the case is a different key than the one to the jewel storage room door. I wonder who has the key then. Sure. This is the only case that's damaged. It must be where they kept the Aurora Drop. It looks like it was cut. The edge looks like it was sliced clean with a blade. What kind of blade could slice this cleanly through a sturdy jewel case? I mean, Corviknight has like its wings are basically metal, right? What was that? Oh, okay. All the cotton?
Hey, Tim! Check it out! Looks good, huh? Disguises are a key part of detective work, you know.
I don't think there's anything that could disguise the fact that you're a Pikachu, though.
He clearly doesn't appreciate my art. Perhaps I need to give him a little more training.
Sure. That looks like part of the jewel case. Based on the shape, do you think the top half of the case was cut off? Yeah, it looks that way. It's a really clean cut. Sure. Slicing it must have taken one seriously sharp blade. I doubt a human could pull that off. Anything else? The base of the jewel case is firmly fixed to the floor. Yeah, moving the base doesn't even look possible.
Hey, Tim. Quit looking at my tail and start investigating anything that looks suspicious.
I wasn't looking at your tail, I was looking at your ass.
Whoa!
Whoops. Sure you checked everywhere? I pressed the B button by accident. Let's see. There's some cotton on the ground. It looks really fluffy and soft. Oh, I guess that didn't count as the cotton. Him messing around with it. What's a bunch of cotton doing in here? I don't see anything else worth investigating. Sure.
Okay, let's start deducing.
Okay. Actually, I wanna... You've probably figured out how the culprit stole the jewel by now, eh? Alright, let's begin deducing in your case notebook. I saw that Pikachu had something to say, but I guess I can't go back. We have a few plausible theories. Which do you think is right? Oh, what is this one? The culprit hasn't actually stolen the jewel yet. Culprit cut the case open and stole the jewel. Culprit may have used a key to unlock the jewel case. No, that's definitely wrong. That's interesting. I'm kinda interested. Are you serious? Well, okay, it's definitely this one.
Okay.
From what we've seen of the crime, we can tell that the jewel case was sliced open. After that, the Aurora Drop was removed from the case and taken away. Right, and we saw that the jewel case was still locked, which supports the claim. We still need to investigate more to determine how the case was sliced open. But at least now we know how the thief got their hands on the Aurora Drop. Yeah, we've made our first step forward. Okay, the culprit appears to have cut open the case and taken the jewel. Sure.
Okay.
You understand how to use the case notebook now? Yep, once I got some evidence, I'll start deducing. Feel free to start deducing whenever you feel like it. Okay. After investigating the scene, we now know how the crime was carried out. We can be certain that the culprit sliced open the case and took the jewel from inside. But there's just one thing that's strange. Oh yeah? Tim, think, what's strange about the way the crime was committed? Loud.
Oh,
The door to the storage room was opened with a key, but the jewel case was still locked when it was sliced apart. That's right. So that means that the thief only had one of the keys, the one to the storage room. They didn't have the key to the jewel case. According to Mr. Dennis, only he and Barnes can access the jewel storage room. I understand why the police suspect Barnes, but I'm not so sure. Obviously, it'd be best if we could talk to Barnes ourselves, but he's still being questioned. We need to ask Mr. Dennis about the lock on the jewel case. Right, after we wrap up here, let's go ask him. How's the investigation going, Tim? Oh, Mr. Dennis. Sorry, I couldn't stand just waiting around. Have you discovered anything? It does appear that the culprit used the storage room key to gain entry. We believe they then cut open the jewel case and took the Aurora Drop. Is that so? I suppose that doesn't help Barnes much since he has access to the key. I have a question for you, Mr. Dennis. Who has the key to the jewel case? I have it right here. I always carry the key to the jewel case on my person. I've known Barnes a very long time, but I still won't give him this key. Interesting. Insurance scam. The security of the jewel case is my personal responsibility. Got it. So both Barnes and Dennis can access the key to the jewel storage room. But only Mr. Dennis has access to the key to the jewel case itself. That's valuable information, Mr. Dennis, thank you. Really? I thought I might be getting in the way, but I'm glad to hear I could help. The Aurora Drop is meant to become a symbol of revival for Rhyme City. Anyway, I'm counting on you, Tim. A symbol of revival? Let's ask Mr. Dennis about that later. The thief cut open the case to steal the jewel, but they had the key to get into the storage room. And the only people who have access to that key are Dennis and Mr. Barnes, so it makes sense that the police would suspect Barnes. If the key hadn't been used to unlock the storage room, Barnes wouldn't be under suspicion in the first place. Why would he do that knowing people would suspect him? Maybe he didn't think that far ahead. In any case, based on what we found at the scene of the crime, we can't be certain of anything just yet. We need to talk to Barnes and the other people in the mansion and hear what they have to say. Not just the people, the Pokemon too. I'll interpret for you when we talk to them. Alright, I'm counting on you, Pikachu. Oh god, his face when he does that little like enthusiastic smile is so cute. Okay, now that we got our next steps figured out, let's start interviewing everyone right away. Begin deducing. Can we though? I don't think we have enough. Hi. Okay, you have nothing new to say. Hi. Sure. I guess we're not allowed to go in there. Back to the first floor. I guess we can talk to Growlithe now. Is she feeling a bit better? Oh, hello.
Hello there, Detective Tim. Oh, I mean, Detective Goodman?
Your hair doesn't make sense. Newest staff member of the Dennis resident. Ooh, you're immediately suspicious. Wait, you are the detective, right? That's what Mr. Dennis said, at least. The name's... Wait, that's not proper enough, sorry. My name is Larry Turner, and I'm a member of the house staff. House staff, huh? Seems in over his head. If you need anything, just let me know. I mean, please inform me if... You really don't have to be so formal with this. Thanks, that's a huge relief. I got this job a while ago, but I'm still not used to talking all fancy. Uh-oh, is that a problem? Well, it's a good thing for me that Barnes deals with all the important guests. My main duties are taking care of the Pokemon, managing the house, and groundskeeping. And I can handle all that, no problem. I don't know, this guy isn't exactly filling me with confidence in his ability to do his job. Anyway, you wanted to ask about what happened, right? I mean, I already told the police everything I know. I'm really sorry for taking up more of your time. Oh, sorry, that's not what I meant. I'm not complaining or anything. It's just that I don't remember what happened very well. Something attacked me out of nowhere and I blacked out. Something attacked him? So not a thief then? Can you please tell us more about that, Mr. Turner? Sure, no problem. About the crime that took place. Right, so where to start? I was just doing my job like normal today. I'd made food for the Pokemon, did some cleaning around the mansion, that sort of thing. I think I was tidying the garden when it happened. I saw a ducklet fly out of a second-story window. As I recall, I wondered where she was going. I mean, usually ducklet just walks out the front door. It seemed weird to me, so I went upstairs to see what was going on. That's when I saw the door to the jewel storage room was wide open. As if that wasn't shocking enough, the moment I went to look inside, I suddenly got punched by a Pokemon. The next thing I knew, I was lying on the sofa and someone was treating my wounds. A Pokemon punched you? Yeah, I felt like I glimpsed a small red figure for just a moment. Based on the size, it couldn't have been human, so I'm guessing it was Pokemon. A red Pokemon. Do you know what kind it was? I'm really not sure, it all happened so fast. I see, I'm so sorry that happened to you. But I'm glad you weren't seriously hurt. Huh, that's what the doctor said too. No Pokemon would want to steal the Aurora Drop. It's possible that the culprit ordered the partner Pokemon to swipe the jewel and punch out Turner. So Tim, now that you've heard Turner's story, what do you think? We need to find the ducklet that flew out the window, and that red Pokemon too. Yep, you got it. About the culprit.
Excuse me?
Did you see anything else when the Pokemon attacked you? The thief who brought the Pokemon along was probably nearby. Unfortunately, that's all I saw. I see. Can you think of any other detail that might give us a clue about the culprit? Nothing in particular is coming to mind. I mean, Mr. Dennis is such a nice person. I've never heard anyone holding a grudge against him. And I was really surprised to hear that Barnes is a suspect. You don't think Barnes is responsible? I guess the police must have some reason to suspect him, but honestly, I just can't believe it. Barnes is still showing me the ropes around here. He's a great co-worker with tons of experience. I mean, if you'd known Barnes before all this, you could never even imagine him being a thief. About the Aurora Drop.
Excuse me?
Do you know anything about the stolen jewel? The Aurora Drop? I've never even seen the thing. It's been shut up in that storage room ever since it was brought to the house. Of course, I know it's valuable and all. I assume that's what's been causing all the arguments between Mr. and Mrs. Dennis lately. What sort of arguments? In case you haven't heard, Mr. Dennis says he's gonna donate the Aurora Drop. Seems like Mrs. Dennis is against that plan, so she stole it. They've been fighting about it almost nightly. Every night? It must really be a point of contention. I guess Mrs. Dennis just doesn't want to give up such a valuable jewel. So the Aurora Drop's been driving a wedge between husband and wife, eh? Interesting. We have a new suspect. Are you
Yes?
Mrs. Dennis?
You certainly don't look like you're with the police. State your business.
Wow, you're a bitch. We're detectives. Mr. Dennis asked us to investigate the incident that occurred here. Detectives? Oh, I suppose my husband did say something about that. Your husband? That must mean you're... Claudia Dennis, Sanjeev's wife. I'm sorry to bother you, but do you mind if we ask you some questions? I do mind, actually. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. The case has already been solved. What do you mean? The police said that Barnes is behind all this. So the matter's settled. You sure want to wrap this up quick. We've heard that he's under suspicion, yes, but we can't be certain it was Barnes who committed the crime. You sound just like my husband. But nothing you say will change the fact that Barnes is the culprit. Barnes' partner Ducklet was up to no good. I saw it with my own eyes. Did you witness a crime? Barnes' partner Ducklet was involved in the crime? You look as though you don't believe me. About what you witnessed. Is it true that you witnessed the crime? Well, I didn't exactly see it clearly. Huh? But I did witness some irrefutable proof. What exactly did you see? At the time of the incident, I was enjoying a cup of tea in my room on the second floor. Just then, I noticed a bird Pokemon flying outside the window. A bird Pokemon? Yes, I clearly saw a blue bird Pokemon. It had to have been Ducklet. We did find blue feathers near the window and in the storage room. So those were Ducklets? In hindsight, she was obviously stealing the jewel. I also heard a faint sound just before that, like something metallic. A metallic sound? Do you know what could have made that noise? No, I don't, but the storage room was ransacked, wasn't it? I suppose she must have broken something in the act. And I've heard it confirmed that Ducklet's feathers were found in the room. Isn't that proof enough that Barnes is the culprit? Actually, no, it's not. She's pretty darn convinced of her own theory. But all it's based on is a metallic sound and the sight of a flying blue bird Pokemon. Pretty flimsy if you ask me. Yeah. I'm sorry, Mrs. Dennis, but that information alone isn't enough to definitively prove Barnes is the culprit. Then hurry up and find whoever it is and just get that jewel back. Isn't that what my husband hired you for? I get that she's upset, but she doesn't have to take it out on us. About Barnes.
Excuse me?
Mr. Dennis seems confident that Barnes is innocent. Oh yes, I'm sure he is. He's always been too trusting. Especially when it comes to Barnes. Those two really trust each other that much? I'm told Barnes has worked here for a very long time. Much longer, in fact, than I've known Sanjeev. I suppose that's why Barnes is always taking my husband's side. What do you mean by that? Whenever my husband and I have a disagreement, Barnes inevitably sides with Sanjeev. Even though I'm sure he believes he's being impartial. That lack of self-awareness is yet another one of his many flaws. I get the feeling Claudia is not a huge fan of Barnes. Do you think that's why she's so sure he's the thief? About Ducklet.
Excuse me?
Could you tell me more about Ducklet? Ducklet is Barnes' partner. She dotes on him tirelessly and is always by his side. Sure. You mentioned earlier that she might be involved in the crime somehow. Would Ducklet be capable of such a thing? Yes, she even helps Barnes out with his shopping. She'd certainly be capable of making off with the jewel. Well, whether or not Ducklet stole the jewel, the one thing that seems certain is that she really loves Barnes. About the Aurora Drop.
Yes?
The Aurora Drop is an incredibly valuable jewel. Mr. Dennis told me the same thing. But do you really understand? Can you even comprehend just how valuable it is? Huh? I knew it. Just look at those blank expressions. Hey, my face always looks like this. As it is, I'm not even sure my husband understands the true value of that jewel. After getting his hands on something so precious, why would he want to donate it to Rhyme City? So you're against donating the Aurora Drop? Of course I am. Treasures like that aren't meant to be paraded around for the general public. They should be preserved for quiet observation by a select few. Oh my god, you're such an elitist. Hard to imagine her quietly doing anything. Okay. Oh, Clefairy. Or Clefable, I don't know which one you are. Clefable. Fab. Oh, it's Clefable, Mrs. Dense's partner apparently. Can I ask you a few questions? Whoa, what gives? No need to be so rude. What's wrong? Seems like she's real suspicious of us. Maybe she's feeling sensitive after the incident here. I've already talked to you. Can I talk to your Growlithe? Nope, nothing new. Ask me anything you like. About the symbol of revival. What makes the Aurora Drop a symbol of revival? 2 years ago, during the R incident, my jewel shop suffered considerable damage. Wait, you were a victim of the R incident? Yes, some Pokemon who had been exposed to R went berserk. Their rampage destroyed my shop, to say nothing of the damage done to my jewels and other goods. By that time, I already had the Aurora Drop. I kept it stored safely in the shop. So, was the Aurora Drop damaged too? No, as a matter of fact, it wasn't. Of all the jewels in my shop, the Aurora Drop was the only one to remain unscathed. In fact, debris fell so perfectly around the Aurora Drop that you might believe it was being protected. That's incredible. I guess there's some magic left in the world after all. Ever since the Aurora Drop became known as the jewel that survived the R incident, people started visiting my shop just to see it. And thanks to all that attention, my business was able to get back on its feet. Sounds like a valuable jewel, in more ways than one. What made you decide to bring it back to your mansion instead of keeping it at your shop? I decided to donate it to Rhyme City. The Aurora Drop? But why donate something so precious to you? It's not just precious to me, that's exactly why I decided to donate it. Mayor Myers has done his part in improving our city by declaring the start of Pokemon Friendship Week. I thought it was about time I did mine. So I wanted to donate the jewel that survived the R incident as a symbol of Rhyme City's revival. I hope that by doing so, I can help liven up not just my shop but the whole city as well. Wow, Dennis, I'm impressed. That's a wonderful gesture. I'm glad you think so. Not everyone is so pleased about it. Oh? Forget I said anything. I shouldn't burden you with concern over such personal matters. For now, I'm counting on you to find the Aurora Drop as quickly as possible. Understood. We'll do everything we can. Sure. Can we go talk to Barnes yet? Now then, Mr. Barnes, we'll thank you not to leave the mansion until further notice. Understood. Hey, sounds like the police finished questioning Barnes. Let's go talk to him. Yeah. Brandon Barnes. I like your fancy hair. How did it come to this? Why are the police so suspicious of me? Excuse me, are you Mr. Barnes? Who might you be? I'm Detective Tim Goodman. Mr. Dennis has hired me to investigate the crime that occurred here. Is that so? My apologies. I'm Brandon Barnes. I work here at the Dennis residence as a butler. Do you mind if we ask you some questions, Mr. Barnes? I realize you must be tired since you were just questioned by the police. Please don't worry about that. If you've been hired by Mr. Dennis, then it is my duty to give you my full cooperation. Thank you. What would you like me to speak about first? The time of the incident. I was away when the incident occurred. It wasn't until after I'd finished my errand and entered the house that I realized something was amiss. I heard Turner cry out from the second floor. When I rushed upstairs, I found him collapsed on the floor in front of the jewel storage room. So that means Barnes was the first witness to arrive at the scene of the crime. Did you see the thief or their partner Pokemon? No, nothing like that. Wait, if Barnes ran up the stairs, you'd think he would have run straight into the thief. If he didn't see anyone, could they have escaped from the second floor, the window? Did you check the storage room? Yes, the door was already open, and when I looked inside, I saw that the Aurora Drop was gone. I then contacted Mr. Dennis and the police right away. Is there anyone who could corroborate your whereabouts at the time? Unfortunately not. It was only afterwards that Mr. Dennis came out of her room to see what the commotion was about. And the only others in the house at the time were Growlithe and Clefable. Naturally, no one takes witness statements from Pokemon, so I'm afraid I have no alibi. That's where we come in. The Pokemon that live in this mansion might know something. About the culprit. Mr. Barnes, do you have any idea who the thief might be? Not a clue, I'm afraid. But I do know that Mr. Dennis and I are the only ones who can freely use the key to this jewel storage room. True. Growlithe guards that key with constant vigilance, so I imagine it would be very difficult for anyone else to take it from her. I suppose it's no great wonder that the police suspect me given the circumstances, but I would never do something so senseless. At least this confirms that only those two have access to the key. About Ducklet.
Yes.
Ducklet is my dear partner Pokemon. Just look at this photo. That's Ducklet with you there. You look like you would have a Persian as a partner Pokemon. Yes, isn't she adorable? Just look at her feathers, simply beautiful. That's not all. She's also incredibly clever and even helped me out with my work. Oh, excuse me. I'm terribly sorry. I tend to get a bit carried away when I speak about Ducklet. It's really no problem. You mentioned that she helps you with your work. What exactly does she do? Let's see. She runs errands for me, such as buying coffee beans from a local cafe. Ooh, she buys coffee beans. Nice. You keep it in your pants, Pikachu. There's a place nearby called the High Hat Cafe. Perhaps you've heard of it. She regularly goes shopping there by herself. If that's their go-to cafe, then it's gotta be for the High Hat blend. Guess I shouldn't be surprised that Rhyme City's elites have such refined tastes. I asked her to go to the cafe today, in fact, but she hasn't returned. Could she have wandered off somewhere? Do you have any idea where Ducklet might be? Unfortunately, no. The feathers found at the scene of the crime are Ducklet's, right? Yes, no question about it. But I haven't the faintest idea why Ducklet's feathers would be there. Just the thought of her getting caught up in a crime somehow. I'm so worried I can hardly think straight. About the Aurora Drop. Out of all the jewels in Mr. Dennis's collection, he considered the Aurora Drop to be his most precious. He worked tirelessly to acquire it in the first place. You might even say that the Aurora Drop is the physical manifestation and crystallization of Mr. Dennis's career as a jeweler. I wish nothing but swift retribution on this thief who stole it from him. For someone who speaks so formally, Barnes is a pretty passionate guy, isn't he? Please, Tim, find the Aurora Drop, I beg you. Don't worry, sir, we're on the case. And that's it.
Well...
Based on Barnes' testimony, I'm not really surprised the police suspect him. Yeah, if only there was another witness at least. About that, aren't you forgetting something, Tim? Huh? Barnes told us that Growlithe and Clefable were in the mansion at the time of the incident, remember? Oh right, maybe the Pokemon saw something. Exactly, you can leave the rest to me. Let's go question them, Tim.
Tim.
Oh, you got something to say?
Yo, main Ectric! Working hard?
Stay out of my way.
Hey! What did I ever do to you?
Oh, that's it. Alright, let's move on. Okay, so let's talk to Clefable first since she's right here. Hey! She still looks awfully suspicious of us. Let's try again later. Growlithe? Something new? Oh, you do have something new. Hey Growlithe, sorry to bug you when you're already feeling down, but would it be alright if we asked you some questions? Growl? We're here to catch a thief, and we need your help to do that. Growl. You're willing to talk to us if it'll help Sanji? Thanks. Sanji? Growlithe's nickname for Dennis, near as I can tell. Oh right, his full name is Sanjeev Dennis, so I guess Sanji makes sense. Anyway, Growlithe, can we start with the questions? About you, Growlithe. Growl. Gotcha. As Dennis's partner, it's your job to guard the mansion. And we already know the key to the jewel storage room was around your neck. Growl. It's important to Dennis, so guarding it is important to you. Makes sense. Go. She says she'd never let anyone other than Dennis or Barnes even touch the key. Go. So that's why you feel extra responsible for what happened, huh? She's really got a strong sense of responsibility. Don't worry, the two of us are gonna crack this case. About at the time of the incident, do you remember anything about the time of the incident? Go. You don't know because you were napping? Go. What, your breakfast was so tasty that you ate too much of it and it made you sleepy? Been there, believe me. What are you even talking about? Go. You woke up when Barnes got home. That would have been right before all the commotion happened. And when you woke up, your precious key was gone? Yeah, I can tell you're upset. You'll do whatever it takes to help us catch the thief? Thanks. We'll come ask for an assist if anything comes up. About Barnes. How? She says Barnes is a kind and well-mannered person. He and Dennis are close, and she's never seen them fighting or arguing. Mr. Dennis really does seem to trust Barnes after all. Go. And Growlithe likes Barnes too. Judging from what Growlithe says, it's hard to think of Barnes as a likely culprit. There wasn't anything in Growlithe's testimony that could help us prove Barnes' innocence. Only one... Oh yeah, but we tried to ask her and she won't talk to us. I'll do what I can to get Clefable talking to us. Thanks, Pikachu. Alright. Hey! What? You think we're thieves returning to the scene of the crime? You got it all wrong. We're not here to steal anything. We're actually great detectives looking to catch a thief. Please, can you answer some questions? Faye? Yes, really, come on, you can trust us. Faye? Yeah, help us out, and I'm sure Claudia's bad mood will clear up too. Faye. So you're willing to talk to us? Thanks. Guess Clefable was worried we'd do something bad to Mrs. Dennis. About you.
Hey,
Do you have a job here at the mansion? Hey. Ah, no job per se unless you count spending time with Claudia. Isn't it tough hanging out with someone so prickly? Hey. Claudia's not a bad person, you see. Sorry, didn't mean to be insulting. Faye. So Claudia's always arguing with someone or other, but when it's just you and her together, she starts to regret the whole thing. So she knows she's a bitch. Ah, I get it now. Your job is to cheer her up when she gets into arguments. You're the therapist. Wow, you're actually pretty nice. Clefable's really important to Mrs. Dennis. At the time of the incident, did anything strange happen today? Hey. Clefable's saying she got real sleepy while playing in the mansion this morning. Did someone drug their food in the morning? Then she dozed off and doesn't know what happened after that. That's too bad. About Barnes. What do you think of Barnes? Do you get along with them alright? Faye. Claudia doesn't like Barnes, so Clefable tries not to have much to do with him. But she doesn't think Barnes is a bad person. After all, she says, Barnes ran to help Turner when he got hurt. Wait, does that mean Clefable saw Barnes going upstairs to help Turner? Yeah, it's gotta. Clefable, what else can you tell us? Faye. Clefable was dozing near the front door this morning. When Barnes got home from doing stuff outside, she woke up and greeted him at the door. Faye. Then Clefable and Barnes heard Turner cry out on the second floor, so they both went running upstairs. Where is Mrs. Dennis during all this? And that's when, to their surprise, they found Turner on the floor. That means that when Turner was attacked, Barnes was still on the first floor.
Okay, let's start deducing.
What do you got for me, Pikachu? We've got everything we need to make our deductions. Let's solve this puzzle, Tim. Sure. The police suspect Barnes is the culprit. Begin interviewing the people. Sure.
Okay.
Alright, we've got some useful information. Let's stop for a moment and get our thoughts together. Based on everything we heard, is there anything that suggests Barnes is innocent? Let's review the information we gathered and see what we come up with. Barnes may be the culprit. Barnes doesn't seem like he would betray Mr. Dennis. That's after the crime scene. When Barnes returned from the mansion, both he and Clefable heard.
Okay.
We learned that Clefable greeted Barnes when he returned to the mansion, and Growlithe said she woke up at exactly the same time. Barnes and the others only became aware of the crime after that. Doesn't that mean Barnes couldn't be the culprit? Barnes was on the first floor when Turner was attacked. That would have made it very difficult for Barnes to steal the jewel. I'm not sure we can prove Barnes is innocent with that alone. Yeah, we can't exactly disclose the testimony came from a Pokemon. No one would believe us. It looks like we're gonna need other evidence to prove his innocence. Okay. Barnes has an alibi. We can't lift the suspicion around Barnes with Clefable's testimony alone. I think we're gonna need some other kind of evidence to prove his innocence. But where should we look for it? Nothing immediately comes to mind. At times like this, it's best to try investigating other leads. We might find a thread somewhere unexpected that leads us back to this. Okay. Where is the red Pokemon? To get close to the truth of this case, we've got no choice but to find that Pokemon that the witnesses saw. Witnesses reported seeing a red Pokemon and Ducklet. I wonder if the Pokemon that cut open the jewel case is the culprit's partner. It makes sense to think that, but no such human was seen by witnesses. Having said that though, we might learn something if we can find the red Pokemon. Let's head into the city and get some leads on that red Pokemon. I'm sure we'll be able to figure out what Pokemon it actually is. At this point, it seems pretty likely that Barnes is the red culprit. But then, why did Ducklet leave from the second floor window? Seems unlikely that it's got nothing to do with the jewel theft. Finding Ducklet would be the quickest way to confirm that. Good call. Let's head into the city and look for her. Sure. The only red Pokemon that I can think of that would be able to cut the glass is that the one that evolved from Scyther. I think it's called Scizor or something like that. Did you figure out where Ducklet went after she left the mansion? Let's piece together the information we've gathered. She's actually still at the dentist residence. It only looks like Ducklet isn't at the mansion. She's actually been with her partner Barnes this whole time. I don't know why I clicked on that. It's like the only one that was on screen, so... Yeah, we haven't done enough investigating, so let's go look around. Okay. Looks like the only way to continue our investigation is to gather info in the city. But where should we go? Should we go after Ducklet or search for the red Pokemon? If you're unsure, why don't we try following Ducklet? I think we have a better lead to go on for that than for the red Pokemon. Oh right, we did hear Ducklet was supposed to go buy coffee beans today. I'll bet you she went to the Hi-Hat Cafe. You're right, we should probably go search the cafe. Let's not waste any time, Tim. Alright, let's go. Not wasting any time. Yeah, drink some water. Who are you? Huh? You mean you won't help me? I understand how you feel, man, but we're in the middle of an investigation right now. Yes, but what should I do? Looks like that woman has a problem. Sure does. I doubt it has anything to do with our case, but it's hard not to want to help someone who's in trouble. That's the spirit, Tim. If we see a person or Pokemon with a problem, let's do what we can to help them. That's what makes us the city's great detectives. But we do need to prioritize our current case. This is something we can help with when we have time. Right, first let's hear what she has to say. Good idea. During your investigation, people in Pokemon may request your help solving their problems. These people and Pokemon have a blue speech bubble. If you see them, try talking to them. Local concerns that you've agreed to help with are added to the list. You can check this list at any time by pressing Y. Keep in mind, some of these requests aren't necessarily problems in the strictest sense. Got it. Excuse me, may I ask what's wrong? My Lillipup's gone missing. Oh no, what happened? We were taking a walk together in Serenity Park. I guess Lillipup must have been having too much fun. He got so worked up, he took off like a rocket. I've been searching all over for him, and now I'm exhausted. The police officer won't look into it for me either. I don't know what to do. We can't just ignore this. That's right, helping people is a detective's job, and finding lost Pokemon, even more so. I don't know, this is also giving me Judgment vibes. We'd like to help you, ma'am. We're detectives, so we're pretty good at looking for lost people in Pokemon. Really? That would be a huge help. Can you think of anywhere your Lillipup might have gone? Well, I've already searched the park pretty thoroughly, but I haven't looked for him in the city yet. Oh, also my Lillipup likes quiet places, but I'm not sure there are any places like that around here. I think that's enough information for us to go on. Please wait here while we search for him. I'm so sorry to add to your workload when you already look so busy, but thank you. I hope you find my sweet Lillipup. If we see Lillipup during our investigation, we should talk to it. Here. Lillipup loves to go for walks. When his partner took him outside, he suddenly ran off. Okay. Can I go this way? Cuckoo! Oh, if it isn't Pidove, glad to see you're feeling better now. Who? Who am I? What do you mean? I just rescued you a little while ago. Who? It's forgotten the whole thing. Well, Pidove are known for their forgetfulness. Hey. Whimsy? Cut. They seem happy. What are they talking about? They're saying that no matter how many times they visit the city, it's always bustling and full of fun. Do you suppose they witnessed anything? We can certainly ask. About you, were you in the mansion? Oh, you ride on seasonal winds that take you all over the world, huh? The city seems even livelier than usual whenever the Whimsicott arrive. Whimsy! Oh, okay. Soon you'll be leaving the city to travel somewhere else. Oh, you like coming here every year because you can meet so many different Pokemon? Oh, I'm happy to hear that. About the cotton. Is this cotton yours? Whim! Yeah, the Whimsicott says it's theirs. Okay. Send that shit to the lab. We actually found this in Mr. Dennis's mansion. I don't suppose you've been in there. Whimsy? Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. Come on, you gotta remember at least that much. Whimsy, wee! Oh, this one does remember. What did it say? It thinks it remembers going into the mansion while playing with its friends. It thinks so? That's not a very clear answer. Yeah, let's ask for more details. How did you get into the Dennis residence? You said you might have been in the mansion, but how did you get inside? You went in through the window with your friends? Why would you do that? Whimsy. You don't remember anything after eating breakfast this morning? Ugh. What does that mean? There's something in the food, man. Please, it's really important. Just try to remember. Whimsy, whimsy! Some human you don't know asked you to do it? What was this stranger like? Whimsy, whimsy. You don't remember because it was someone you'd never seen before, huh? Now look here, you might be an accessory to theft. What? You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? You think that the Whimsicott have been unknowingly involved in the crime? If they were, they're blissfully ignorant of it. After all, playing pranks is kind of their whole deal. This complicates things. About the red Pokemon. Have you two seen any red Pokemon around here? Cut! Oh, Pawniard is red, and you've recently become friends with one? Pawniard? The Pokemon with blades all over its body. Yep, there you go. It was him. And it's true that Pawniard's pretty red. Whimsicott, cut! You often run into Pawniard at the terrace in Serenity Park. And on windy days, you play with Pawniard by picking it up and flying it around. Whim! They say they like to fly Pawniard all the way here from Serenity Park. Serenity Park is the big part just beyond here, right? Yeah, and the terrace is way over on the far side. Maybe we can find Pawniard there. Do you remember when you last played with Pawniard? Whimsy! Oh, lately you've been playing together every day? Even today? In that case, we might be able to find it there now. Whimsy. If we go meet Pawniard, we should be careful about how we treat its favorite rock? It has a favorite rock? Whimsy, whim. Apparently, there's a rock at the terrace that Pawniard really cares about. One time they accidentally stepped on it and then Pawniard got mad. Real mad. Wow, that's scary. We better watch where we step. About Ducklet. I don't suppose they've seen Ducklet around, have they? Whim? Whimsy! Whim whim! Okay, I get it. You didn't see her. Whimsy! If they didn't see her, I wonder where she went. To the cafe, I guess. Do you suppose Pawniard is the red Pokemon we're looking for? Well, the guy said, Turner said that it was like not human size. So, yeah, not Scizor. Apparently, it's good friends of the Whimsicott that went into the mansion. So it seems pretty likely. It'd probably be fastest just to go meet it and ask. But we still have to track down Ducklet. Should we look for Ducklet or Pawniard first? Either is fine by me. You can start with whichever one you like. Thanks, Pikachu. Seems like this is the only way I can go for now. Whoa, you're freaky looking. Self-appointed city patrol. Sorry, I should have talked to him in a better position. What are you up to, Frog? What Watchog's hobby is observing things around the city. In that case, maybe it's seen something useful. Can't hurt to ask. How about you, Frog? Oh, you never got bored in the city because there are so many people, different people and Pokemon to watch. Must be fun having eyes like yours, especially since they let you see in the dark. Watcho. What, really? Chog. What is it saying? You gotta tell me too. Right, sorry, it says it saw Ducklet pass by here. If she passed by here, she was probably on her way to the cafe after all. How about the red Pokemon? Chog. There are so many red Pokemon you don't know which one we mean. Good point. Do we know anything else about it? Let's see. It was a Pawniard. We know it's a Pokemon that can use a move to slice clean through hard objects and that can easily knock down a human with a punch. Watcho? You haven't seen any Pokemon like that around here? Alright then. Sigh. This is real bad. That boy looks pretty down. Sorry to bother you, but is everything okay? You look unhappy about something. Oh, you're the detective in Pikachu I saw on TV. Awesome. A detective's just what I need. Can you tell us what's bothering you? Well, we've got a match coming up against the Tanti Park Soccer Club. Calling it soccer actually hurts me. I call it football. I don't know Tanti Park even had a soccer club. One of their members has a Scrafty as their partner and they're so good. So I'm worried we're gonna lose. I want a partner Pokemon I can play with too. But I can't find any Pokemon that are good at soccer. Gotcha, sounds like we'd better search for a Pokemon with good footwork. Can you think of any Pokemon that plays soccer really well, Mr. Detective? None immediately spring to mind, but I'll be sure to tell you if I find one. Really? Thanks, Mr. Detective. I sure hope you can find a Pokemon that likes playing soccer. There's gotta be one somewhere in Rhyme City. Sure. These two still going at it. A rough. Hiya. They're squaring off. Could cut the tension with a knife. It looks like a fight could break out any second. Are they just squaring up at each other? We should probably avoid this alley so we don't accidentally set them off. Where do you talk to that Inkay? I guess it's this cafe? Hi-Hat Cafe. Oh, it's you. Aren't you the mayor's daughter?
Oh, Tim!
Hello there.
Wow, what a coincidence running into you here. Yeah, I'm as surprised as you are. I think I've seen this girl somewhere before. Oh, I remember. Howard's notebook. She's the girl from the photo. Yes, Pikachu, this is Rachel. We go to college together. She's the mayor's daughter? Right. And you said she knows a lot about Pokemon too, didn't you? And she's just a classmate? Or... oh, don't you start, Pikachu. See, this is why I don't like telling you about my personal life. I'm just looking out for you. I never hear you talk about actually having fun with people. As we probably look like a crazy guy talking to our Pikachu in front of these two babes. Well, anyway, who's the woman next to her? I know about as much as you do. I don't think we've met before. Hey, Jessica, have you heard of these? Of course. It's an honor to meet the great detectives. By the way, Tim, were you talking to your Pikachu just now? What? No way. Oh, no need to be embarrassed. I totally understand the urge to talk with your partner. But now that you're here, why don't you chat with us for a bit? Yeah, sure. No. I wanna go snoop around a bit. Ooh. Records and sheet music. This is Pablo's collection. He's got everything from old classics to the newest hits. He must have a broad taste in music.
Well?
This instrument is called a conga. Did you know that? You tap out the beat with both hands. Even I can play this thing. Come on, now's really not the time for that.
Let me see.
Wow, what a great looking drum set. I think I'll take it for a whirl. No, please don't. The cafe's open not right now, you know. Yeah, no. Oh, contrabass first. Now that's stylish. I think I'll give it a strum. Stop it, the cafe's open right now. No, I want to look at the piano. It's Pablo's piano. I doubt he has much time to play it when the cafe's busy. Oh, hey.
Well, look who it is.
You kind of look a bit familiar. Ludicolo. Luludi. Looks like she's in a good mood as always. Actually, you do look familiar now that I think about it. Do you think she might know something? She might, we can ask. How about you? Ludi! You say you've got an ear for rock now, not just jazz? Ludi! Apparently Politoad and his friends put on concerts here at night. Ludi! And you really love that music, so that's how you went from jazzist to rocker. I'd love to hear Politoad's concert sometime. How about Ducklet? Have you seen Ducklet recently? Ludi! She says Ducklet comes to the cafe pretty often. Pablo knows more about that apparently. Ludi! Oh, and you sometimes see Ducklet at Serenity Park? Lululi! I see, so the pond water there is good for your fur, and you met Ducklet there sometimes when you go to bathe? How nice that you tell each other about good swimming spots. I guess water-type Pokemon get along swimmingly with each other. Shut up, Tim. Don't you start.
Milaseri?
Rich with flavor and fortune. How would you know what it tastes like?
Mil Mil.
Oh, it's a milcery. Hey, Pablo, got a new customer? Oh, you mean this milcery? It's new, just started living here, in fact. Wonder what sort of place it's from.
Mil Mil.
Whoa, hey, hold on, milcery. Both Tim and Pikachu have particular blends they prefer. You can't just add cream without asking.
Mil Mil Mil.
I prefer to keep my coffee black, but why don't you try some cream, Tim? Sure, and it smells great. I'll give it a try next time.
Mil Mil Mil.
But you. Hi, Tim. Did something happen today? I noticed you weren't here this morning. Yeah, I got caught up in a new case. Oh, sounds rough. You mind if I ask you some questions? Me? Sure. Go right ahead. About the cafe. You must have been really busy moving your cafe to this new location. Do you feel all settled in now? Yeah, it feels like things are finally back to normal. I know Pikachu's been coming here on his own to drink your coffee. I hope he hasn't been causing you any trouble. Trouble? Me? I'm a paying customer once you pick up my tab. Not at all. The cafe is way closer to your place now, and it seems like Pikachu feels comfortable here. And the Hi Hat Cafe always welcomes Pokemon customers. About Barnes. The butler from the dentist mansion? Yeah, he swings by the cafe pretty often after he's done with work. Barnes is a regular customer? Yeah, he loves coffee and jazz, so we've got plenty to talk about. But apparently he's been really stressed lately, so he hasn't been stopping by as much. He's been really stressed, huh? You'd probably ask for some more details about that. Stress? Do you know why Barnes was stressed? Was he worried about something? Oh, well, I'm not sure if it's my place to tell you about a customer's personal matters. Please, we're just trying to help. It's for Barnes' sake. So this is for a case, huh? Then I guess I better tell you. He was worried about the jewel that Mr. Dennis was planning to donate to Rhyme City. Apparently the Dennises have had a difference of opinion about that. Barnes is trying to come up with a compromise that could satisfy both of them. But he said he just wound up getting stuck in the middle of the argument. That does sound stressful. I remember him saying he wished there was no jewel in the first place. He wished there was no jewel, huh? Anyway, that's all I know. Hope it helps. Yes, thank you. About Ducklet. Do you know the Ducklet that lives at the dentist residence? Yeah, I know her. You're talking about Barnes' partner, right? She often comes here all on her own to buy coffee beans. She really is a clever little Pokemon. Just like Barnes said. She always comes with this cute little bag that I fill with beans for her. As far as I know, she takes them straight back to the mansion. In fact, she left her usual order a couple of minutes ago. So we're hot on her tail then. Really?
Okay, let's start deducing.
Wait, I'm gonna talk to these bitches first.
You and Pikachu must be working hard, huh?
Yeah, he's actually more helpful than he looks.
That's pretty impressive, Pikachu.
What was that smile? Come on, Tim, you can give me a better compliment than that. You seem different from usual somehow. Don't tell me that award my dad gave you is already starting to change you. No, of course not. I'm the same as I've always been. Are you sure? I mean, we don't really know each other all that well. Maybe you have the wrong impression of me? No way. I've had my eye on you for a while now, Tim. Excuse me? Excuse me? Oh, does she mean what I think she means? It's like I have a front row seat to the great detective in action. I feel like an exciting new adventure could break out at any moment. Ah, right. Did you get your hopes up for a moment there, Tim? Quiet you. How about you?
Hey,
It is such an honor to meet you, Tim. Thank you for solving the R case. You have no idea what that meant to me.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Okay. I see news about your accomplishments on TV all the time. You're quite the celebrity. Celebrity? I wouldn't go quite that far. No need to be modest. You're a great detective after all. Jessica used to work with my mother years ago. That's how we met, and we've been friends ever since. Oh, I see. But it's been a while since we've met up like this. About 2 years, I think? We've both been so busy lately, there just hasn't been time to get together. I had no idea you'd become friends with a famous great detective. Were you surprised? Yes, of course. Hey, I'm the great detective. By the way, Tim, I work at a pizzeria in Bamboo Borough. If you're ever in the area, stop by. I'll treat you to one of our awesome pizzas. Alright, did you hear that, Tim? Let's go sometime. The pizza place where Jessica works is actually pretty famous. Sounds great, I'd love to go. I'll take you up on that offer. I'll be waiting. Tim, there's actually something I wanted to talk to you about. What's up? Well, it's about something going on at home. Sounds serious. I'm not sure how much help I'll be, but you can always talk to me. I don't want to waste your time, though. Don't worry about it. I'm working right now, but we could meet up tonight if you're free. That sounds like a date. Sure, that works. Thank you, Tim. Okay, then how about you stop by my apartment later? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, not bad, Tim. But aren't we supposed to have dinner with your family tonight? Yeah, but this sounds serious. I can't just brush her off. The least I can do is hear her out a little bit. Fair enough. I'm sure your family will understand.
Okay, let's start deducing.
Okay. Sure. Ducklet is nowhere to be found at the dentist residence. Find out where she went. Okay. You went to the Hi-Hat Cafe. Didn't Ducklet go to the Hi-Hat Cafe to buy coffee beans? Yeah, apparently she goes there on a regular basis to buy them. Today was one of those days. And Pablo said that he handed Ducklet her usual order of coffee beans. So I guess Ducklet headed back to the mansion then. She might be back there already. Okay. Where's the red Pokemon? How can we prove Barnes' innocence? I don't think we have enough for that.
Okay.
Let's head back to the mansion to search for Ducklet. Good idea.
Tim.
What do you got for me?
Hey, Tim. Jessica seems really grateful to us for solving the R case 2 years ago. Nice to know our hard work wasn't for nothing.